What if I told you some people don't stop talking to their parents because they are bad children? They leave because staying hurts more than leaving. And behind every son or daughter who cuts off contact with their mother or father, there is usually a story nobody ever asks about. This is the psychology of people who walk away from their parents. Most people think, if someone cuts off their parents, they must be selfish. But psychology says it's rarely that simple. Because human beings are naturally wired to love their parents, even after pain, even after disappointment, even after emotional damage. So when someone finally walks away, it's usually not a random decision. It's often years of silent suffering, years of feeling misunderstood, ignored, controlled, or emotionally unsafe. And eventually, the pain becomes too heavy to carry. Sometimes, the relationship becomes emotionally draining. Imagine growing up where every conversation turns into criticism, where your feelings are dismissed, where love feels conditional. Be who we want, or we won't accept you. Over time, the person stops feeling like a son or a daughter and starts feeling like a burden. Psychologists call this emotional burnout, a point where the mind says, I can't keep hurting like this. So distance becomes survival, not revenge. Here's something most people don't understand. Children grow older, but childhood pain grows with them. The child who is constantly insulted often becomes the adult who struggles with self-worth. The child who never felt emotionally safe may grow into someone who fears closeness. And sometimes, seeing their parents keeps reopening old emotional wounds. So cutting contact feels like the only way to heal, not because they stopped caring, but because they finally started protecting themselves. But here's the sad part nobody talks about. People who cut off their parents often carry massive guilt. They question themselves at night. Did I do the right thing? Am I a bad person? Maybe I should try again. Because no matter how painful the relationship was, a part of them still misses what they wished their family could have been. Not the family they had, the family they deserved. So before judging someone who stopped talking to their mother or father, remember this. Sometimes, distance is not hatred. Sometimes, distance is grief. And sometimes, the hardest goodbye is the one people never wanted to make. Because not everyone leaves their parents. Some people leave the pain. Sometimes healing looks like distance.